So I got a confession to make. You know, I've been out finding some really good gold and using my metal detector, and when I get out here, I have my camera stuff and I say to myself, well, do I want to go out and find some nuggets, or do I want to film a video? Find some nuggets, film a video. I want to go out and find some nuggets, okay? So I've been coming out here, and I bring my camera, and every time I bring my camera, I think, I really should be filming, but I want to go out and just swing my detector and find some gold. I really got to say that I have admiration and respect for the guys like Jeff Smith and Smith's Gold and Gary Two Toes Honan. Gary and Jeff, they're real good about when they get out and go metal detecting. They take their camera and they'll go, detecting, but they really take the time to do some filming and find some nice gold on camera, and it makes for a good video. And I need to do some videos like that, but I get just too enthusiastic about going out and finding gold. And honestly, I have been finding some really nice gold. Let me show you a picture of what I've found in recent weeks.
Here's what I've been finding in the area behind me that you just saw in the video. 18 grams of gold, that's, well more than a half an ounce, and a very nice find. And it's nice, quartzy, crystalline stuff. It hasn't been in any stream or been tumbled around at all. Now, earlier, some weeks back, I did a video on research, and I selected 3 places that I thought had good potential to find a new patch and a new patch of nuggets. And I went out, and the first day I was all excited, and I tried the first place and I got nothing. And then I went out to the second place on the second day, and I tried hard and didn't find a dang thing. And then on the third day, I went to the third place and found this new patch. And I've gotten some nice gold ever since. And, well, you can see why I was enthusiastic to get out and get back to it.
And then I got up here this morning and I told myself, you got to take your detector out. You got to take your camera with you. You got to go find some gold and put it on camera. But then I thought, it's kind of windy. Maybe I'll wait till this afternoon. This is afternoon, okay? So I headed out this morning, and, it's so much easier to just swing the detector than to go film everything. The truth is, most of the targets I'm digging here are trash, okay? They're little rusty bits of iron junk, parts of nails, parts of tin cans, occasional bullets that people have fired. And, that doesn't make for exciting videos. It really doesn't. But sometimes you get a deeper target, and I got one this morning, and I remember digging it and thinking, I should be doing this on film. I should be digging this on camera. And I'm using the Minelab GPZ 7000, and it's a real deep-seeing metal detector. And the 7000 has a unique characteristic that when the target is close to the coil, it'll give a double blip. So if you have a target and the coil goes over, it'll go beep, beep, and it'll, blip 2 directions. If the target's real deep, though, it'll go over and just go boop, boop, and of course, like most pulse induction detectors, it gives that up, down, up kind of thing. So smaller targets and targets of gold or lead tend to be up and then down. So they go wee-oo, so up, down, and that's the kind of sound that you get. But the target I got this morning was a deep single sound, ooh-wee, and it wasn't super loud, but it was, unmistakable target. There was no wondering, is this a hot rock, or is it a piece of ground that's mineralized, or something like that. there was no question that it was a deep target. Now, there can still be deep trash. One of the things you need to remember, especially when you got a detector that sees deep and got a big coil, if there's deep trash, you're going to see deep trash. But if there's deep gold, you're going to see deep gold, right? Well, this is an area which has, pretty good amount of trash, but not a lot of deep trash. Some, more than zero, but not gobs of deep trash. And I got this deep sound, this deep ooh-wee, ooh-wee, as I swung over it, and I was pretty sure it was gold. And I'm telling myself, like I say, you really should be digging this on camera, but your camera's back up at the truck. Well, let's dig it anyway, because we got to find out what it is. Let me show you what I found this morning. It's pretty impressive.
Here it is, just as I took it out of the ground, still covered with dirt and dirty. But I knew right away this was a good sized piece. It's not flat, it's thick. It's as big as the end of my pinky finger. And it's dirty, right? That's how it comes out of the ground. I've seen several gold shows on TV recently where they pull nuggets out of the desert or out of the mountains, out of the dirt, not out of a stream, but out of the dirt, and it comes out just as clean as a whistle, like not a speck of dirt on it. And that's not real. If you pull it out of a stream where it's been water washed and cleaned and that kind of stuff, of course, it'll be clean. But if you pull it out of the dirt in the desert or in the forest like this, it's not going to be clean like it's been washed. This thing is dirty, but it still looked mighty good to me, and I knew it needed a bath. So here it is after a couple of days in a rust removal solution. It's cleaning up, but it still has an awful lot of iron oxide, the rusty or brown color on there. And so I took this picture and put it back in the cleaning solution where it will probably sit for another week or so. But this thing, it's got some great crystalline character to it. It's clearly never been through any kind of stream or been water worn. It's just come out of the ground, and this is the first time anybody's seen it. But I was real pleased. It's 13.5 grams, and this, you figure out with today's price of gold of a little over $2,500 an ounce, this is $1,000 nugget. I was real pleased. $1,000 nugget. You don't dig those every day. And if you put this 13.5 gram piece together with the 18 plus grams that I've already dug out of this new patch, I've now got over an ounce out of this new patch that I found in July. So that's pretty good. And there's still plenty of ground yet to detect in this general area. So I'm sure that it'll be well over an ounce by the time the season comes to an end.
It was down deep. It was down close to a foot, and like I say, it wasn't a screamer when it was down deep like that, but it was very definitely very much a target, no question about it. And so let me show you the hole that I dug it out of. It came right out of the bottom of that hole, the very bottom, and at the bottom of that hole, it's down a good foot deep. And I got to tell you, I don't carry a real big pick with me. I carry a small pick. And I was digging, and boy, once you get down much below the surface, the soil starts getting harder and harder and more rocky and more difficult. And boy, when I got that thing out of the hole, I was feeling pretty good, but I was really tired. And it was time for lunch anyway, so I went and took a lunch break, and I felt a lot better, and now it's after lunch. I've had my sandwich, I've had a cookie and something to drink, and I'm feeling so much better. So now let's see if it's time we can go find something just as nice, or even just something nice, something good. It's a good spot. I've been finding good gold here. It's a spot where literally there's no other work other than there's been some timber work here, some lumber work where they've cut down some of the wood for timber. This area had a terrible fire through it a few years back, and so there's a lot of area that's been burned, and it's revealed some areas that that had, you know, would have been covered with slash and stuff, that now the slash been burned off. So there's some positive to the fire, although, you know, I would wish that there would be never a fire like this. It destroyed so many people's lives and homes and stuff. It's just terrible. But let's go find some gold. I've babbled on long enough. Let's take the camera out and we'll dig trash if we have to, but we'll dig gold if we can. So let's go to it. Okay, this is my first good sounding. Yeah, my first target after lunch. I've always done this chest mounted thing with the gold monster, which has an exterior speaker on it. So let me see if I can get this thing such that you can hear it. You see, it's given multiple responses for the two different. It's basically an odd D0D coil, a DOD coil, where you have a D facing one way, a kind of D facing the other way, and then in the middle is an O, a circular coil, or actually oval shaped. But it gives responses for close targets on both of the overlaps of the O and the D, both ones facing different directions, and that's why you get this double signal. So let's dig this target and see what it is. It doesn't sound real great, but one of the interesting things about this is on it's on the uplift of an old tree. The tree's all burnt from the fire, but the uplift lifts material up deeper out of the soil, and so you can get stuff that would otherwise be buried deep lifted up to where your metal detector can hear it. Now this may be a piece of trash, but we're going to find out. That big coil got a little birdshot pellet. That's just it's the amazing power of this the GPZ 7000. It really is a detector that can see big nuggets deep and little tiny stuff like a bird pellet. So you know you're not missing much gold if it can see stuff that small and yet see stuff really big with a big coil like that. Here's another loud target. Now that's loud like you expect. That's a loud sound like you'd expect from junk. But this is a detector that has no discrimination. So if you take targets that you think sound like junk and you don't dig them, you easily could be walking away from gold. And I found nuggets within, you know, some nice nuggets within 30 or 50 feet of here. So yeah, I got to dig this. But it's going to be pretty shallow and a high probability to be junk. Let's find out what it is. So what was that target? It was a little bit of lead, but it's melted. The fire was so intense that the lead piece of lead, whatever it was, this fragment of a bullet or something, whatever it was, it melted. An interesting and different target, but hey, we're looking for gold, not lead. So on to the next target. Okay, I found another. It sounds like it's a single deep target, but it kind of wants to go double. Let me let you listen to it. It sounds pretty decent to me. I'm optimistic. It might be gold. Of course, it could be trash. It could be something else. But I'm optimistic, and I'm going to dig this, and we'll see what it is. It could be lead, too. That's the other thing, is lead. Lead sounds like gold. It's at least with this detector, it's almost impossible to tell the difference. Let's give it a try and see what we get. Okay. I've dug down below the surface level, below the burnt
ash and stuff on the surface and it's still in the ground. That's a good sign. No guarantees, but that's a really good sign that it's still in there and it's getting louder. That's good. Well, it turned out that target was gold. Hey, look at that. That's a nice, not a large nugget, but hey, it's a nice one, and I'm happy to dig it finally on camera. I found a target. I showed you it was a little bit deeper than most trash. I was down below the ash and burn level from the fire, and sure enough, got down in there, and it was gold. Not big like the big one I found, but hey, nice to find more gold. So I'm finally getting it and doing it and getting it done. You got to get out and do the filming, otherwise no videos get made. So I'm finally doing what I'm supposed to do and doing what I intend to do, and not just getting lazy and saying, I just want to go out and find some gold. But I did find some gold on camera for you guys. That's great. I found another one that's a single down up. This is exactly what the big nugget sounded like when it was in the ground. Let me give you a listen. That big ooh-ah, that one signal. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm gonna dig it and we'll see what it is. Probably last target of the day, but I'm coming back tomorrow and I'll be working this same area. I found 2 nuggets. That little nugget was only about 25-30 feet from where I found the big nugget, and this target sound is less than 10 feet from where I found the little nugget. So yeah, that's an interesting sound. I'm gonna dig it and we'll see what it is. So let me get digging and bring it back. Well, that target turned out to be a little bit of rusty steel, probably some wire or something. But anyway, not gold. But that's how it is. You got to dig trash. You got to dig trash in order to find gold. And so sometimes you're going to get the trash. Now, this is it for today, but I'm going to come back tomorrow and we'll append that on to the end of this video. So to be continued in just a few seconds for you, but tomorrow for me.
And here's that little nugget that I found all cleaned up and on the scale. A little over 1/3 of a gram. And that's not too bad. I was happy to find it. It's a nice little piece and it cleaned up real beautifully. And here's the 2 of them together on the scale. A very nice day, almost 14 grams. The big one is $1,000 nugget, and I have to admit, I don't find that many nuggets that are over $1,000 in value. Certainly I find some, but it's not an everyday occurrence. And for sure, I'll be out there again real soon.
So clearly, I'm not out in the woods hunting for nuggets. I'm back at home. The evening after I filmed that video that you just watched, I had empty propane tanks that I had to fill and go get filled, and then heft them around, put them in my truck, and carry them back to camp, and then get them all set up. And then they were the big propane tanks, not the little ones. And in hefting them around, I hurt my back. And I have enough experience with back issues that I know that if I hurt my back and then I just push on and just ignore the pain and go for it, then it's going to be, a week or 2 before my back's feeling better. But if I'll take it easy, take some things like ibuprofen and that sort of thing, then in a day or 2 my back will be fine and I'll be ready to go back out. So I exercised, even though I found $1,000 nugget, I exercised the wisdom of old age and took some medication and rested my back for a day, and then I was fine. So I was out there with the GPZ 7000, and I've talked a little bit about that on camera. In fact, I did a whole video on why I think the GPZ is the most powerful detector. It's also the most expensive of all the detectors that are out there for folks, but it will see little tiny targets, shallow, and it'll see big targets deep. And I kind of did that with the last video that I showed you. I got a little tiny bit of birdshot, pretty shallow. So even with a big coil, I saw that little piece of metal. And then I got my big nugget, my $1,000 nugget down deep. So, you know, it's a very, very powerful detector. Doesn't have any discrimination, but if you're interested in the most powerful detector on the market, I did a video about that, and I'm going to put a link to it up here, and I'll put a link in the description, and you can watch that video if you have any interest in it. It's also available from High Plains. I'll have a link for that in the description as well. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because this is actually really important, is plotting your finds. I literally have gone out there and taken my cell phone, and my cell phone has a GPS function on it, and I've taken the GPS readings and written them down. Now, the cell phone GPS is it's not a survey instrument. It's not super accurate, but it's accurate within, you know, feet, and that's really all you need to spot trends. And so I've been plotting the nuggets that I found, and there is a very definite kind of a linear zone trend. I mean, it's not just a perfect straight line, but if you drew a line that has a width to it and then went out there, it pretty much all the nuggets fall right within that zone. And so it's telling me where to go, where to detect next, where I have the most likely chance of finding gold. So if you're just going along a stream or something like that, detecting along a stream, or some bedrock outcrops that are, you know, limited in extent, you know, may not make a lot of sense to plot your finds like that. And the GPZ does have a plotting, it has a GPS in the detector, but I'm too lazy to fiddle with that. I just, you know, I can get it on my phone and, you know, make a note to myself. And it's not like I'm finding 5,000 different nuggets. I can plot my nuggets and know where all of them were. And I'm seeing a very definite trend. So if you're along a stream, probably doesn't make sense. If you're in some limited areas, probably doesn't make sense. But if you're in an open valley, like it's where I'm working now, it's an open, comparatively flat area, you know, plotting your trend, your finds to show a trend can make a big difference. So that's a tip you should think about. In the right cases, it can be really helpful. And it seems like in the case that I'm working this new patch, it's going to be real helpful. My back is fine now. It's been a few days since I've been out there. I'm doing great. It's not a problem. And I soon will be out there. You know, I found a $1,000 nugget. I definitely am going back out for more. So I'm going to be out there. I found some good gold, and next time I will have the discipline to go out there and actually film, both in the morning and the evening. I'll probably be out there a couple of days, and I'll film for the couple of days and make a video out of it. I'll edit out most of the trash, but hopefully I'll have some good gold finds to show you as well. And we'll talk about it while we're out there, you know, the sounds of the detector and everything else. Now, finding gold is a skill, you know, and even having a great detector like the GPZ 7000, that by itself isn't going to put you on the gold. You have to understand how to find gold, where gold's going to be, a little bit about the geology and that kind of stuff. You don't have to be a PhD geology student, but you know, just knowing a little something can be really helpful. Knowing a little bit about old-timer workings. And in order to impart that kind of skill and knowledge that can get you out into finding gold, I wrote a book. It's called Fistful of Gold. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my book right now. This is my book, Fistful of Gold. It's an encyclopedia of everything you need to know to go out and find gold for yourself. It distills down my 45 years of experience out in the field prospecting, as well as my degree in mine engineering. It's, like I say, an encyclopedia. There's a lot to it. It's over 250,000 words long, hundreds of pages with hundreds of illustrations teaching you what you need to know about geology, about mining districts, about techniques of finding gold. It covers metal detectors, sluicing, panning, dry washing, high bankers, you know, you name it, it's covered in there. It talks some about platinum and diamonds, but it's mostly about gold because gold is more widespread. It is not so much a book about where to find gold, but a book about how to find gold. Because even if you have a location where gold was mined in the past and you go out there, well, where should you look to be successful in your prospecting, to find the gold that's there? This is the book that's going to tell you that information. I spent most of 10 years writing this book, so I thought a long time about it. It's got, like I say, lots of information and lots of illustrations, and I've had results from people who bought it. It's available on Amazon, but I recommend buying it through High Plains Prospectors, and I'll put a link in the description for buying this book through them. They have a better price than Amazon, and I have a special deal that I'll tell you a little bit more about, where you can get a 5% discount from the price even with that. On Amazon, the book rates a 4.7 out of 5, which means that of all the people that have bought it, they've been really highly satisfied, and I think you, if you buy my book, will be just as highly satisfied as well. Now let's talk a little bit more about High Plains Prospectors. They're a prospecting shop, a mail order prospecting shop that I've partnered with. The deal is that I can get you a 5% discount, a coupon code, and I'm going to put the code to that right here. It's just Chris Ralph, all caps with no space between Chris and Ralph. You put that in there as a discount code and you'll get 5% off their already really good prices. I think it's a great deal where you win by getting a discount, I get a little percentage of that, and they get new business. So if you need prospecting supplies, High Plains is really the way to go. And I'll put information, like I say, in the description more about how you can work with them, because I'm working with them. They really are great guys, a great company. For even more information, I also have a website, and I'm going to show you my webpage and talk a little bit more about that right now.
This is my webpage. It's located at NevadaOutbackGems.com. You can Google it, or I have a link down in the description below. But there's lots of information here, miscellaneous stuff, pictures, some historic information as well, stories. It's got a lot of great fun stuff. You'll probably be interested in it.
Now, on all of my YouTube videos, I encourage you guys to ask questions. If you have thoughts, comments, suggestions for things that I ought to look at in my videos, things that you want to find out more about, and I answer 100% of my questions. There's not very many YouTubers out there that answer 100% of their questions. I'm one of the few. And so I will do my best to answer what you have. I mean, I only can write so much. Sometimes the answer is something where I'm going to recommend that you buy the book and read about it. I also ask that you subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification so that every time I come out with a new video, you'll be able to watch it. And like I say, I cover a huge amount of topics. I also have 250 videos that I've already done. And so you can go back through my catalog of videos on YouTube. I'm sure there'll be many videos there that you'll want to take a look at, especially if you have any interest in gold or platinum, diamonds, gemstones, geology, and that sort of stuff. My YouTube site is going to be right up your alley. So I'll see you again real soon. We'll be out in the field and back in the office at the whiteboard, and whether we're looking at gold or platinum, diamonds, gemstones, or other interesting geology, it's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it, and we'll see you again real soon.